Round 4, heat number 2, and what a heat it is. Four-time bell ringer Mick Fanning against Sebastian Zietz and current ratings leader John Florence, all out in the water. Kaipagura along with 89 champ Martin Potter for the call. And while we were away, this happened.
Yeah, this happened. Well, one of the winningest surfers here at Bells Beach, Mick Fanning. And what a way to start. Look at the wave he's on. Wave selection is immaculate when it comes to Mick Fanning here. You'd bet your house on it that he's going to have a good result here every time he puts the jersey on at Bells Beach. Just classic Mick Fanning style. And positioning absolutely perfect. The crowd loved that wave from Mick Fanning. He's one of the favorites here. And this is live action.
Here we go. Sebastian Zietz coming around this section. And a beautiful carve for Seabass. Waves getting steeper here. Let's see what he's got. And he's got that grab rail, has to hold in control and goes incomplete. So not the way that Seabass wanted to start the heat. Here we go. JJF, John Florence, frothy face. Little hook for John. Another beautiful wrapping top turn. Gets another wrap in. A little bit of the frothy water that John has to deal with here as he comes through this inside section. And lip lining gets bounced off on his heels. So, well, again, not the start that John wanted.
Interesting wave choice, too. I mean, that was considerably smaller wave than his opponents. A lot of white water on the face of the wave, so traditionally harder to surf. I think John just wanted to get the ball rolling. You know, I think he had in his mind the time frame of when he was going to paddle out. Obviously, we were delayed for about an hour, but you could see from the get-go, this wave had a lot of white water on, which normally is harder to surf. But I mean, this guy's so good; he can take off on a marginal wave and still produce good scores. So, John just carving his way through, just that classic style. I love that. A little bit of extra at the end of each turn. Kind of missed that one a little bit. Now he realizes he's got to do something special here to try and get that score, and catches that outside rail and goes down. So a little bit of a mistake right there from John. Sebastian Zietz flies around this section. Beautiful first turn here from Seabass. Now watch this bottom turn. See how low and down the bottom he gets? What happens is you wipe off a lot of speed and then mistakes come. So you're not going to see Mick or Joel do those kind of bottom turns unless you are absolutely flying. That leash is caught around his front foot, so maybe some psychological sort of, you know, when that happens, Kaipo, it's kind of awkward really, isn't it? When you get that front leash around the front foot, it kind of puts you off just a little bit. Big sets out the back, and it looks like Mick Fanning in position.
Fanning opening up with a 7.83, and that's a great score. He's going to back that up with this wave here. Let's see what he's got. He has that patented Fanning swoop to start with. Nurses his way through a roundhouse cutback, rebounds off the whitewater. Good looking wave and a grab rail cutback for a little bit of variety. Really tilting that board on the rail. Double pump off the bottom and just hooks it off the top. White lightning, surfing fast, powerful, layback snap. Got more. Lip glide through there. No problem with that difficult section, and the closing maneuver, and stomps it. Throws the board away. Mick Fanning, that's how you have a 77% winning percentage. All
right, well, Joel Parkinson put 10 fingers up, and I kind of can't disagree with that. I don't think there was much more you could have done on it. Good solid wave, just paced himself through the first part of it, and you see how there's no, he didn't try and oversurf those first couple of turns, did he? And what that did was it just put him in such good rhythm through that inside bowl. I'm calling like top end of excellent. So, you know, 9.5 upwards without a doubt.
Take a second look at it.
Well, let's have a look. Good solid wave. And watch this first turn, just setting it up. Nice, clean. Waits for it to come down. Now he starts to hook into that nice, smooth, clean surfing. No rushing. Not trying to oversurf it, not trying to do anything too radical. He knows that the best part of the wave's yet to come. Now it starts to stand up vertical, and Mick Fanning reacts with a beautiful snap in the pocket. Critical stuff. This next turn as well, amazing. Hooking into it, showing some variety, showing some power, carrying that speed and flow through this wave. Perfectly red wave from Mick Fanning, and it finishes strong. Flicks the board out, that felt good. And as I said, upper echelon of an excellent wave for Mick Fanning. One of the best out here, really. I mean, he's on his way to a beautiful score, and he knows it. You can see how he's taking his time. He's reading the wave perfectly. He knows that it's going to stand up through the inside, gets himself in position, waits for it to stand up. Now it does. See him, the little check turn, carries the speed through his maneuvers. So important. Critical stuff. That turn put him right in the guts of the wave. Now he's flying down through the inside, and this is where that radical snap comes in, just throws a tail out, and perfect positioning, perfect timing. Couldn't have done any more on this wave if he tried. Mick Fanning showing us why he is one of the best out here. And Joel Parkinson threw 10 fingers, was it, Garpo?
Looked like he put a 10 up to me. And speed, power, flow, variety of maneuvers. You got to tick all those boxes on this wave for Mick Fanning. There's our judge right there with Parko, and he says, give him a 10.
Give him a 10. It's not going to be a 10, but it is going to be very, very close to a 10.
One more score to drop. We'll give you an update, and it's like you said, a 9.93 seventh hundredths of a point away from a 10. And Fanning's back up and surfing. Probably didn't even hear that news. He's just going to surf this one through. Looks like he's having a good time on the Bell's Bowl today, and just has such great technique and read of this wave as well. As Fanning continues to surf through it. Now just looking to better his low of a high good score of a 7.83. Handles that finish. Big finish. Great surfing.
Big wave.
Big wave.
Big turns. Big name, big everything. That was just big.
We just supersized it here already, right?
We have. I think 7.83 is what he needs to better all of a sudden.
Sebastian Zietz and John trying to digest what's going on. He's our current Jeep leader.
Wait till they digest what's about to get dropped, and it's going to be even more so. Kaipo, have a look at that score, that last wave from Mick Fanning. Excellent surfing again.
8.93 for a total for Mick Fanning of an 18.86 out of a possible 20. Commanding lead. Thanks, Strider, and thanks for the insight there. Yeah, we'll try to catch up and see what Fanning's on. Darren Hanley designed, but more specifics on it. Let's take a look at this.
Yeah, well, you know, this was a bigger set. It broke a little wider. We saw Kyo Belly opt to do that as well, and I think dropped one of his keepers. So Mick Fanning knows his place so well, and realizing that, hey, the boys are out of position, so I'm just going to react. I'm going to get this wave, and I'm going to belt it all the way through. You know, wave selection is very, very important here at Bell's. Unlike other spots where you can manufacture scores from smaller waves due to due to high performance. Bell's, you need the wave. I mean, you saw the difference. John taking off on a mediocre wave with a bit of white water on it. No matter what he did on that, it was going to be hard for him to get a score. 5.83 on that occasion. Mick on a bigger wave, let the wave be the hero. 8.93 as his opponents comboed.
Sebastian Zietz wants to surf his way out of the combo, and off to a nice start with a couple of beautiful turns. Goes for that rail grab top turn again, and didn't serve him well yet again. Yeah. So another incomplete for Sebastian Zietz, and the time ticks away. So the surfer out of Kilauea on the island of Kauai needs to get back out there.
Well, hope he's okay.
Something's going on.
Sometimes when you get stuck in that white water, no, he's all right. I think he's just getting the jet ski back out, repositioning. Sometimes when you come back around, you hit that white water, there's so much turbulence. It's really easy to get knocked off your board, and you're falling down this avalanche of white water with your board spearing through, and sometimes it's easy to connect with it. Looks like he's okay. He just wanted to get on the ski and just shake that one off. Reposition in the lineup. Both John and Seabass have got a lot of work to do with 20 minutes to go. So plenty of time, and I'm excited to see how and if John can climb his way out of the situation. Seabass as well. Let's have a look at what happened here. First turn, nice, beautiful style. He draws low off the bottom again, grabs that rail and brings it a bit too far around, and that white water just swallows him up. So unfortunate for Seabass there. That's the second time he's done that, so let's hope he doesn't do that again.
Back to live action. John. Winding up. Beautiful hack off the top, carve, and brings that second turn all the way around. A little bit smaller wave, but a smooth face for John. Little variety of maneuvers, choosing a different turn every single time. John looking, eyeing up this inside, and throws it, spins it, and stands up out of it.
Well, this is what we wanted to see,
that
right?
That was the answer back.
This is what we wanted to see. We wanted to see John pushed because we want to see the best out of him.
Well, here's the guy that's pushing him, and pushing him in a big way, Mick Fanning. Beautiful carve. Fanning, long drawn, and just attacks that turn, throwing the tail in a layback snap. Now looking for more open face. He finds it and continues to work this wave over as we come through the inside section here. And just the rail finesse by Mick Fanning, just incredible. And you can see why this guy's one of the winningest surfers at this particular venue as he finishes off completely in control and looking on point. Mick Fanning.
Yeah, well, I can't wait to see what kind of score drops for John, because anything over, well, he needs nines, really. Yeah. I mean, he needs a 9 to put himself back in this heat. You know, if he drops a 9, he's going to need another 9 kind of, or another high 8. Let's have a look at John here, opting for a smaller wave like that little fade off the top. And this is the kind of surfing we saw from Margaret River. That turn there featured big at Margaret River, and it gathered him huge 2-wave totals. And again, John hooking into that. Now 3 solid maneuvers from the surfer in the yellow jersey. Nice wrapping turn, and then, you know what? He knows he's got his back against the wall, and this is what we wanted to see from John. We wanted to see what he can do, and that's what he can do. Standing tall, saying, what? You want to see some? This is what I've got for you. This first turn, as you said, featured big at Margaret River, and we were just waiting for it to happen, and it's starting to happen now. We're going to see massive scores for John's last ride, and we said he's going to need big scores to get himself out of this combo situation, and guess what?
He got one.
He got one.
A 9.57 right here for John as we see this replay of how he got to that 9.57. It was with beautiful surfing like this, and also being able to work his way to the exclamation point at the end of the sentence right here.
So clean, so easy, so effortless. And he looks up and says, what?
What?
You think I'm not in this heat? Well, John Florence has got himself right back in it. Mick Fanning, now he knows he needs to crank it up. He's just heard that score come through. An 8.93 is what he needs to better. Hooking into that turn right there from Mick Fanning. Got a little bit caught behind the section, but you know what? Back on it on the open face. Now Mick finds these waves. It just keeps offering him opportunities, and he's just going to keep answering. Beautiful wraparound turn, showing some variety. Through the inside, he's got to surf out of his skin to try and really better his situation. He knows John is on a bit of a roll coming back at him. We've got a great heat on our hands. Come on, Seabass. I want to get Seabass back into this heat as well.
Seabass wants back in. Here we go. Let's see what he's got for us. Seabass winding up off the bottom and having to kind of nurse his way through that first turn. Comes back, and it's another better turn for Sebastian Zietz from Kauai, and he just is surfing his way. However, you know, looking like he's battling a little bit with this wave. And the wave won again against Seabass. Here we go with John backing up. That 9.57, 9.3 or better is what he needs. Nice first turn, carves into a second. Off the bottom, layback, hacking, loses the fins, and you could see the frustration on the face of John Florence. Maybe a little bit of surprise, from you too, Potts.
Well, just no surprise. I mean, he pushed that hard on that turn. I mean, something's got to give, right? But that was amazing stuff. He was definitely on his way to another big score there, and he knew it. So yes, a little bit of frustration. Let's have a look at John. First turn, very important here at Bells Beach, and he connects with it beautifully. Waiting for it. And now that searing maneuver. Okay, let's see something special, which is what he's saying. Just kind of skipped out. You know, you heard about Strider talking about a little bit of reverb up the face, and maybe John connected with that. Some incredible Bells surfers left. Former champion De Souza, former champion Parkinson. And then you look at Felipe Toledo, who's back on fire. Here we go.
John takes it under priority, opens up with a beautiful carve, keeping the board on rail. Layback, just throwing everything at it, and Bells pushes back. John just keeping things clean through this section. Has some good outside turns. Let's see what he gets on the inside here. There you go with an aggressive snap, throwing the tail, pushing on the back foot, winding up for the finish, looks for an opportunity, hucks it, spins it, and goes incomplete, unfortunately, because he traveled just so far. Here we go. Seabass wants to get back into this heat pots and needs to, because time's ticking down. Frothy face for Sebastian, keeping the rails clean, back and forth, hooks it, snap, short radius snap, and again, looking like not the Seabass I'm used to, struggling a little bit, throws the layback though and just says, well, and had that. Heavy.
Yeah. Bell said no.
No.
You don't have that.
No, you don't.
Yeah. Unfortunate there for John as well. You know, you heard Strider talk about the fact that sometimes with that third priority, you get that freedom to roam through the inside, and John was well and truly on his way to a massive score. I reckon had he finished that last turn off, we could easily have seen a 9.3 drop. First turn, back into the power pocket. And again, right there, look at that, just laying right into it, using both those hands to pivot on. Both those arms were dug deep into the face of the wave. I love that, where he just steps on the tail, waits for it. Now he starts to react, hooking into that turn. So I'm calling well and truly on his way to an excellent score here, and then waiting for it. You can tell when he does this, something special is going to happen. Boom! Look at the distance covered, and unfortunately he doesn't quite pull that off. 9.3. You need high scoring 9-point rides to you know, Mick needs another 9 for sure, and he knows that. 9 minutes and 50 seconds to go. This heat is nowhere near over. I mean, look at the scores dropping for John's last ride. Kipes?
8.57, so right. Like you said, Potts, he would go to got that 9.3. He would have got that 9.3.
Yeah, it was up there with Mick's 9.93, and we would have seen a lead change. So under his belt, and it's only round 4, so he's not done yet. But he's got his work cut out for him. Here he goes. He's got to better that 8.93, and he's paddling.
Just scrapes into it. Fanning off the bottom. Beautiful carve that we're used to seeing from White Lightning. And again, a little shorter radius snap. This wave may not have as much opportunity as some of the previous ones, but Fanning is going to continue to surf this wave all the way in and finish up. Probably not one of his top twos, given that he has a 9.93 and an 8.93.
Look at this, though.
Look out for John Florence. Rolls into this wave and sets up for a gouging maneuver off the top, throwing his feet above his head. And one more time, going to have to hang on through that bounce section, and goes incomplete. Wow. 3 minutes remaining, Potts. And John's going to have to make quick work of it.
The first turn the same, and then the second turn just a little bit late to the party, and it took him down. That thing rolled him for a while underwater. Out the back right now, though, Seabass looking like he's on a heater, looking beautiful. You know, really a lot of water coming up the face, so hard to finish your turns out here, but Seabass grinds into another one. Set up carve right there. Looking for something on the inside right here. Take it away, boys.
All right, Seabass squaring up here on the inside section and does a good carve off the top. Winds up, layback, throws a hack, and does a great job. Little lip glide to finish. Nice finish for Sebastian Zietz.
Yeah, the crowd loved it too. That was definitely a good way for Seabass.
John goes for the giant alley-oop and sticks it. Throws up the hand, says, what more do you want? I'm going to go show you some more. He's looking for a 9.3. Let's see what this wave has in store for the end. One big maneuver for John Florence in search of that 9.3. This is going to be interesting.
No, it's going to be the score. It's what it's going to be. You mean interesting? That was incredible. I mean, the board was fluttering in the air, and the ability to pull that off. I mean, that was. You know, we always talk about how, Bells, you got to put the wave together to get the score. Well, not if your name's John Florence.
Well, this could be shocking for Mick Fanning, who's been in some great, great form and dropping giant scores. I want to take another like 20 looks at this, actually.
Well, let's have a look. Let's have a look as he flies down the line, and well, have a look at that. Oh my goodness. He doesn't claim that often, does he?
Yeah.
So when something like feels pretty good, I mean, let's have a look at the slow-mo. I mean, this is a solid wave. This is a solid 6-foot plus wave. A little bit of a tweak there to get that momentum flying the right way. No hands. Feet are coming off the board. The board flutters. He corrects it with his toes. I mean, come on. Seriously.
What is it? Free surfing, competition surfing? It's a hybrid of both. Strider, your take.
Oh, are you kidding me? There's a couple seconds left. Fanning's back out in the lineup. I think it's going to tick down, though. That was the craziest thing. He eyeballed that thing up. He looked at the wall and then just threw it into the air with that wind perfectly coming across from the northeast, from the back of the wave, and just saw the section, identified it as he paddled into it, and he just was watching it the whole time. And for him to take that moment, seize it, and then stick it, I couldn't see the landing. All I saw was it looked like he was 10 feet in the air from where I was.
First time we've ever seen a claim. Scores starting to come through. And if this is not a 10, I will be very, very surprised.
Well, a little bit of a surprise. It's just short, a 9.97 for a historic maneuver. John Florence over Mick Fanning and Sebastian Zietz.